Good evening, YouTube. HeirofCarthage here, and I am back in Total War Warhammer 2.
This isn't an online battle. Why did you put it in?
Okay, I know. A few of you brought that up. Sorry, I like doing like really stupid voices. Yeah, no, this is from a campaign that I played recently. And obviously I want to show this because I think that there's going to be a lot of people who really enjoy it. This was a huge battle between Teclis and a whole bunch of clanless Skaven towards the end of the campaign. So there's going to be a very high level Teclis involved here. He's actually right here next to a noble. I've got some Eagle Claw bolt throwers skirmishing, and I want you all to see the amount of magic that Teclis is about to drop all over this Skaven army. I've got reinforcements coming from the back, a couple Star Dragons, mainline Sword Masters, and Phoenix Guard. You can see that my Eagle Claw bolt throwers already wrecked up one of their artillery units. And I'm in position now. My Lothern Sea Guard are going to open fire on some of their skirmishers. My dragons are going to destroy a doom wheel. And Teclis is just going to start supporting fights absolutely everywhere with an insane amount of magic. So here comes Flaming Sword of Ruin right in the middle of the center. Then a Doom Flock. And just watch for it. Watch how quickly and how much magic Teclis drops all over. So we got this Flame Storm. Didn't quite hit as many of the Skaven as I hoped. Check out the Phoenix coming across him over here, and it's not over yet, folks. Then here comes a Chain Lightning on top of that. And Teclis is just ruining the day for the Skaven. Putting an unreal beating on them. He's already got 85 kills, and between that and all of my elite infantry, these Skaven are not having a good day. Not by any means. See all the Sea Guard destroying the reinforcements. Their artillery is under fire from my artillery. So they're getting wrecked. Another Chain Lightning. Didn't quite land where I wanted to because the Skaven were basically dead and they were already moving out of the way. So, and my dragons obviously easily besting their Doom Wheel and a bunch of their infantry. So, yeah. I think I named this particular replay Teclis Melts Rats, and indeed he did. There is a Skaven Warlord, Plague Priest, whatever the heck he is over here. He's going to try and put up a fight against me, but my dragons are here, and this should be the end of the Skaven here pretty quickly. These two Star Dragons are going to come down and put a big beating on him. See back here whatever leftover units they have under fire from my artillery. Oh man, this game's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Let's try their Warlord getting chucked around. So yeah, Teclis indeed melts Skaven. There can be no doubt. There's a Storm Vermin over here, which is attacking some light armor archers that came in, but that Storm Vermin's gonna break because I've destroyed almost all of their units back here, including their Greyseer. So there you go, folks. Teclis does melt rats. Melted rats all over the battlefield. Let me just show you all the stats off that one. So Teclis only 98 kills, but he inflicted a ton of damage, and the Skaven army had no chance whatsoever. I've got another replay I want to show you from this same campaign, so let me jump over into that one. Now, spoiler alert, if you all don't want to know what happens at the end of the Vortex campaign in terms of a battle, don't watch this, but this was the final battle, and it was a pretty epic battle. So Teclis is going to have to take on the Skaven, Malekith, and Lord Mazdamundi all in order to gain a victory, and once again we're going to use the insane magical prowess of Teclis. Check out this map. You can see the Horned God back here from the Skaven making his way to Ulthuan. The Vortex in the background. What a backdrop. And the Skaven are going to start off moving through a choke point, and Teclis is going to hit them with all the damage he can. My artillery's already got them under fire, but just look at the massacre of the rats here. It's a flame storm also. And here comes the fiery convocation. I think that's what it's called, at least. Brilliant. So, yeah, my artillery takes a huge toll, and you can see the Skaven army is in ruin before it ever even reaches me. Teclis already has 185 kills. Listen to the great horned rat back there. So at this point, my infantry is just plowing forward and laying waste to the Skaven. Here's some of their storm vermin, though, so we'll get a slightly stronger pocket. But the initial showing of the Skaven here takes the full wrath of Teclis, and his wrath is severe, apparently, right now. The Grey Seer is here. And I'm going to have my dragons come down, and they put a beating on that Grey Seer in a huge hurry. So, yeah. 2-star dragons, if they land their hits, which they did, you can see the Grey Seer died almost instantly. And the Skaven army is going to be in full retreat. Very little damage to my army, which is good. At this point in the battle, I didn't know how many reinforcements I was going to face. I've actually never finished this campaign. This is my first time to finish it. So I don't have any idea that I'm going to have to face not just Malekith here, but also Lord Mazdamundi. So here comes the Druki. Interesting color scheme for him here too. Their first wave is just bleak swords and some dark shards. But they're going to have a second group moving in as well. So you're going to see me reform my army. So here comes all of the troops for Teclis. Man, looks awesome. So obviously I'm not very concerned about a few crossbows and bleak swords. So I'm going to open fire. Elf things. Got the horned rats screaming at us back there. Their dark shards are firing at Teclis and my noble. See them here. Artillery. I needed to switch the shot type right now. I'm on the wrong shot type. But it's helping to get the job done regardless. There, I've got the right shot type. So my artillery is going to start raining down. And here comes the real reinforcements. None other than Malekith, the Witch King, on Seraphon. With another Black Dragon. Got some Cold One Dread Knights, Hydra, some Shades, Blackguard, and some Harganeth Executioners. So the real army of the Witch Elves is here. And once again, that rat thinks he's got us. So Malekith is going to move forward. My 2-star dragons are going to be excellent units, but Malekith there is 703 weapon damage. It's going to be significant. He gets a breath attack. I'm going to charge in. The 2-star dragons try and clobber Malekith. He's going to use Deadly Onslaught, so he's got huge weapon damage. And I'm going to immediately have to do a regrowth on one of my dragons to try and make up for some of the pain. The Dark Elves can't seem to even really do anything to my front lines. And I'm actually going to get caught here by the cavalry because I was busy keeping my dragon alive over here. Malekith has used Word of Pain. So, not a great engagement for me so far, but I do manage to charge out my dragon, charge back in. Malekith using his Arcane Conduit. And I'm going to have to continue to try and keep my Star Dragon alive. I'm using some special abilities from the power of the Vortex. Here, though, I'm going to get more than I bargained for against 2 Executioners. And now the second Black Dragon joins the fray, so we have a huge aerial battle going on. Regrowth is helping to keep my units alive. But most of the enemy units here being taken out. My Dragon Princes attacking the Dread Knights. And one of the Black Dragons pulls out of the fight to do a breath attack on Teclis. That leaves Malekith stranded, and Malekith takes the full wrath there. His chill winds are not very well placed by the AI here. Malekith routs, some of his shades are gone, these Executioners fight on. And this is turning into a pretty tough fight here, but Malekith's gone. The second Black Dragon isn't going to be near as tough. There is a Dark Sorceress who's dropping a bunch of spells here also. But we managed to push the dragons out. And right now I've just got to deal with these Hargoneth Executioners. I should have used a breath attack right here from my dragons. Would have been perfect, but I don't remember what I did with my dragons. I was probably keeping an eye on Malekith. But we took a little bit more of a beating here. The Hydra dies in combat with my Phoenix Guards and Teclis and the Noble. And then these Shades with great swords are under fire. The Cold One Dread Mites run amok out here and haven't done a ton of damage. I'm going to net Malekith, hold him still, and then charge my 2 dragons over at him. I was going to use a breath attack, but he had used his Destroyer ability. And Malekith surprisingly takes quite a few hits here from my Star Dragons without dying. There he goes, though, so the Witch King is down. And his last few remaining troops, I didn't support against these Executioners. I didn't have notice of them, honestly, right off the bat. I'm going to use some healing abilities there. And then Bombardment, bring in my Noble, finish off the Executioners. And the Dark Sorceress. And then that's going to bring Lord Mazdamundi's army now onto the battlefield. So here comes the host of the Lizard Men, led by some skink cohorts and skirmishers to start with. And then the more serious reinforcements will be here soon. So what's left of the Dark Elves being mopped up, and once again, the tattered remnants of my army are going to have to reposition. Fortunately for me, they keep refilling the ammo in this final battle on my Lothern Sea Guard. And so the Sea Guard are in good position. They haven't had to get into melee, and they continue to own from range. My dragons, on the other hand, are going to need some time. I'm going to spend some time healing one of them so that I can get them back into the fight. So there's the skinks, and here comes Mazdamundi on Slock, and he's supported by a skink priest. There's some Temple Guard and Cold One. Horned Ones, sorry. A Feral Stegodon and a Revivification Crystal. Check it out. Mazdamundi lands a Chain Lightning right in the middle of my army, and it's actually just devastating. And then he's going to follow it up with a Ruination of Cities. So Mazdamundi leaving his mark right off the bat. Here comes the Horned Ones jumping straight into combat in the center. I took a ton of damage from that initial assault from Mazdamundi. Fortunately for me, his infantry just hasn't been that difficult to overcome here so far. But we've got Temple Guard on the way. I'm going to get Mazdamundi under fire here and try and put some pressure on him. The Bastiladon and the Stegodon are moving forward. I'm going to use a Chain Lightning out here to disrupt some of his troops that are moving in. And my main line is holding, if only just. And I mean, it is pretty close. I've got my Dragon Princes out here on the flank. I'm going to come try and do some work on one of these flanks here. But I see a good opportunity to charge these skink cohorts. They shouldn't offer up much resistance. So we're going to clobber them. I'm going to fix their more elite infantry. And then Mazdamundi is going to become the focus of all my fire to try and pull him down. You can see here, we're going to finish tearing up these skinks, and then I've got a good opportunity to rear charge Mazdamundi now becomes my focus. The revivification crystal, the dragon's gonna chew on it. See if we can bring him down, and then another dragon's gonna go try and put some pain on Mazdamundi. So yeah, see him fighting. Teclis is over here fighting the Distillodon, along with the Noble. And then here comes a massive rear charge from Dragon Princes into these Saurus and Temple Guards, and it is a big hit. I mean, a big hit from behind. And that's gonna wrap up this flank. Lizardmen won't survive that, and you can see Mazdamundi close to his breaking point. And I was like, oh man, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna be able to mop up the rest of these Lizardmen, and we're just barely gonna survive it. So I was pretty excited. It's magical attacks. So Mazdamundi routes, the rest of the Lizardmen shatter, and I was like, alright, good, everything's finished. And then I was like, no, wait a minute, what? And the Horned Rat tells me that there's one more Grey Seer coming in here. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. So, Hell Pit Abomination, Doomwheel, Rat Ogres, Storm Vermin, Plague Monk, Censer Bearers, Death Runners. Yeah. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm so beat up. How am I supposed to do this? My front line is very tattered. Fortunately, again, my archers continue to have more ammo. And at this point, Teclis has expended a lot of his magic and abilities. Not all of them. And I'm like, alright, you Skaven slime. It's one last opportunity. So, tattered or not, the epic battle continues. Let's watch. Oh man, this looks cool. If you guys haven't played the Vortex campaign, if you haven't got Warhammer 2, this should convince you. Warhammer campaigns are incredibly fun. The factions are extremely diverse. There's a lot of replayability. And the cutscenes and stuff in the Vortex campaign are freaking awesome. So right here comes the Hell Pit Abomination. I'm going to charge forward with what infantry I have remaining, so... This is for the Order of the Lore Masters. For Ulthuan. For the world as we know it. To keep the filthy Skaven out of our lands. Dragon Prince is charging in. Warp Lightning. We're going to go after the Grey Seer with our Dragon. And the Hell Pit Abomination is going to get attacked by Teclis and my Noble. Get him, boys. Get him. So the Hell Pit Abomination gets shut down. Most of the Skaven infantry gets shut down. The Warlock Engineer over here, like I said, was getting attacked. So pretty good attack for me so far. This Doom Wheel is going to still be a problem. But I'm going to use my Dragon Breaths, I think, finally. I've been saving them. Probably should have used them already. There we go. We're going to kill a ton of Skaven. And basically put an end to this flank, which was actually doing better. There's still some Death Runners over here that have to be dealt with. Fortunately, my Dragon Princes did a pretty good job, and they're still holding. We drove off the Rat Ogres. We're going to dive bomb that flank. And now there's just a few Skaven that stand between me and victory, but this this Warlock Engineer nearly kills Teclis. No big surprise. He's really not meant for melee. But I get a heal off on Teclis and make sure that he's going to stay alive. That Warlock Engineer nearly got me. We're going to come back in for another round here. We're not done with him. So Teclis isn't going to be scared off that easy. See that chariot coming into the Death Runners. Here comes the dragons. Should be able to finish off what little is left of my enemies here. And we will successfully defend the Vortex and keep the great Horned Rat from ruining the lands of Ulthuan and the great Skaven plot to take control of the Vortex is thwarted. You can hear the Horned Rat not pleased with the current state of affairs, and this is the only thing they got left is this Doom Wheel back here. This Doom Wheel is such a cool unit. I actually got to sit in a life-size Doom wheel whenever I went to Gamescom and got to see the Warhammer 2 there. So yeah, we're going to be able to drive it out. Here comes Teclis. Both Star Dragons. And that was how I gained victory in the Teclis campaign. Started a long time ago. It took me a long time to finish it because it actually started crashing on my desktop. So I actually streamed this from my laptop today to finish it all. So hope y'all enjoyed getting to see some of the epic battles that can turn up in campaign. If you aren't watching my campaigns and you want to see it, come check it out. There's about to be a bunch of new ones. We're going to show you the new campaigns in the DLC. Do some probably Immortal Empires with Norska as well. So make sure you join in. So that was a crazy battle. Came up against almost 4,000 enemies with only 1,000 of us, so outnumbered 4 to 1. And look at the results. Good stuff. Good stuff indeed. Like I said, hope you all enjoyed that one. Thanks for joining and watching the campaign. For those who did, it was a great stream. HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I will see you soon with some more Total War Warhammer 2.